The 3DS celebrates its 6.5-year anniversary this August, and the releases show no signs of stopping, similar to its revenue stream for Nintendo. Ever Oasis just came out for the system, and games like Hey Pikmin, Miitopia, Samus Returns, a Superstar Saga remake, Pokemon Ultra Moon and Ultra Sun, and so much more are on the way later this year. Saying the 3DS is dying is simply false. Sure, it's old, but so is Nintendo themselves, and they're doing very well financially. See, there's been this notion floating around since the Switch's birth, but mostly during E3, that the 3DS should just die. That Nintendo needs to stop producing this handheld console for reasons. Now, I'm not going to pretend to know the consensus on what the internet thinks about this topic, about whether or not the 3DS should be put to death. I'm not everywhere, and I don't read every bit of discussion about this topic, but I know that many have brought this idea forward as a possibility. I'm not saying that you're wrong in thinking the 3DS should die, but what I am saying is that it's a short-sighted, poor desire. From what I understand, this argument centers around two pillars. One, that the 3DS competes with the Switch, which limits the potential financial success of the console. And two, that the 3DS is a detriment to Nintendo's business, which relates to point one. Frankly, both of these points are pretty far-fetched. Let's tackle pillar one first. Now, the notion that the Switch needs saving, it's a shaky opinion. The Switch is doing a lot better than Nintendo could possibly imagine. Right now, the console is sold out everywhere, and Nintendo is battling for manufacturing parts to meet the extraordinarily high demand. In its first week in Japan, according to Media Create, the Switch sold 329,152 units. The entire first shipment was sold out in a week. Compare that to other consoles in Japan, like the PS4, which sold 309,154 units in its first week. So obviously the Switch is making a financially substantial splash on the market. Official numbers aren't available in the Americas or Europe, so I won't comment to that, but a similar situation has played out where the console is sold out almost everywhere. This is anecdotal, of course, but whenever I see a press site tweet out that Switches are available, it's almost immediately followed by they're sold out. All of this is evidence alone that the Switch doesn't need saving, that it's doing just fine despite fears that the 3DS might compete with it. Also, we're still only looking at the first 6 months for the console. Who knows what might happen later. Though I'm confident that when supply increases again, so will Switch sales, what with the strong game lineup it has just in 2017 alone. Plus, it's not like the 3DS has the same games as the Switch. Granted, both are handhelds, but the Switch is unique in that it's both a handheld and a home console, whereas the 3DS is only a handheld. With different games and marketability, the two are hardly competitors. Not to mention, it would be absolutely stupid for Nintendo just to kill off the 3DS right now. I don't think people realize how big of a part of Nintendo's business the 3DS truly is. As of the fiscal years of 2016 to 2017, the 3DS accounts for 51% of their annual revenue according to this graph they presented at a recent shareholders meeting. With that much at stake, you can clearly see why Nintendo would want to keep 3DS support going and why it would be utterly stupid to stop it. If they stop support, they stop the cash flow of over half their business model. Still don't think the 3DS is worth it? Well, as of the end of March of 2017, the 3DS has sold over 66 million units, 7.27 million units as of now in 2017, compared to 6.79 million units in the entire year of 2016. Saying the 3DS sales are declining is incorrect. They're clearly growing, what with the new introduction of the new 2DS and just last year with the new 3DS XL. Software sales are up as well, with them just surpassing 330 million sales as of the end of March of 2017. The 3DS business is profitable and growing. Again, it's common sense. You don't cut off the part of your business that nets you the most money. You cannot say that the 3DS is detrimental to Nintendo's business when the data and the company of trained business professionals clearly shows otherwise. Furthermore, why do people even want this fun system to end so soon? Do people forget that the Nintendo DS, the most profitable console ever only behind the PS2 by a slim margin, didn't end production until 2014, 10 years after its initial release in 2004? Now, of course, the 3DS has not sold as many units as the 154 million selling DS had, but you have to remember, it was a different era. The DS didn't have the real competition of the growing mobile game environment, unlike the 3DS, which, to be fair, has done extremely well despite that. Over 66 million units being sold is no easy feat. With numerous games coming out in 2017 and more unconfirmed in 2018, I don't understand the strong feeling that the 3DS has become stagnant and just needs to end. I can understand the argument that blurry textures, jaggies, and 240p graphics don't look so good in 2017, right? There is an understandable point of view that developers should just focus on making games for the Switch, since games look better and still could be on the go. I want to offer a counterpoint to that. Just last week, Ever Oasis came out for the system, and while not anything mind-blowing, it goes to show the brilliant potential for the console. Made by Grezzo, the people behind Majora's Mask 3D and Ocarina of Time 3D, Ever Oasis takes various aspects of great RPGs and combines them into an enjoyable experience. Games like Ever Oasis are reason enough to still want the 3DS to carry on. And who's to say, hey, Pikmin won't be fun as well? That's coming out pretty soon, and it looks pretty cool. And how about that remake of Superstar Saga? That was my favorite Mario & Luigi game, so seeing it being remade with new features is exciting. Plus, there's Pokemon Ultra Sun and Moon, which could be an entertaining expansion of one of the most refreshing, fun Pokemon games of recent memory. Then there's that remake of Metroid 2 that looks cool, and I'm excited for that too. Oh, and how could I forget about Miitopia? There's a demo in the eShop, and it's very comparable to Tomodachi Life, which I fell in love with back in 2014. The point I'm trying to make is that it's silly to suggest that Nintendo needs to kill off the 3DS when it has so much potential to still grow. It's got good-looking games on the horizon and a beneficial financial future for Nintendo's business, which only means that we as consumers will reap the rewards of a game company doing well and being able to create more entertaining products. And Nintendo probably won't cease production anytime soon for the 3DS family of systems. I'd be very surprised if they did, as it's only 6.5 years old and the new 2DS will be coming out soon. And who knows, maybe the new 2DS will cause a spike in sales, making the 3DS the best-selling console ever. It could happen. You never know. As always, if you disagree or agree with me, let me know in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching, and take care. Have a wonderful day, and goodbye. If you're wondering why I'm sounding still a little bit strange, it's because of my wisdom teeth that got out. It was pretty painful. Also, try not to look at this piece as an attack on anybody who's made this argument. I wanted to put out my point of view, as I usually do in these videos. Hopefully it was worth it, but if it's not, that's okay.